Hi, मैं हूँ रुचि, RJ रुचि, रंगीली रुचि on Radio Nasha, and I'm here to do something that I've always wanted to do as a media personality, and that is to utilize the platform I have to talk about things that need to be spoken about. आज यहाँ पर मेरे साथ में है डॉक्टर मुंजाल। ऑफ कोर्स इनके बारे में मैंने कई बार अपने शो पर बात की है, सोशल मीडिया पे हमने यहाँ पर बात की है। एंड डॉक्टर मुंजाल वी कपाड़िया, इन्होंने शुरुआत से ये सोचा, इवन दो ही हैड अ फैमिली लेगेसी एंड 7 डेकेड लेगेसी इन हेल्थ केयर, लेकिन इन्होंने कुछ अलग करने का सोचा एंड ही मेड इट पॉसिबल कि हेल्थ केयर जो है उसे लोगों के लिए आसान बनाया जा सके। अंडर हिज लीडरशिप नमः हेल्थ केयर हैज बीन recognized as the best emerging hospital of the year in 2016. So thank you so much, Dr. Munjal, for joining me on this live session. कैसे हैं आप?
I'm good, Ruchi, and it's my pleasure to be on the show.
So, this is this special segment on my show, which is Ask Me Anything with Dr. Munjal. So, I am going to take this privilege to share some questions जो कि पिछले कुछ दिनों में मेरे लिसनर्स ने मेरे शो के ज़रिए हमारे साथ में शेयर किए। एंड जैसा मैं अभी कुछ देर पहले बता रही थी, इतनी सारी ऐसी चीज़ें जिसके बारे में लोग खुल के आज तक बात नहीं करते थे, बट हम चाहते हैं कि हम इस एक टैबू को, स्टिग्मा को ब्रेक करें एंड वी नॉर्मलाइज़ थिंग्स स्पेशली अराउंड वुमेन्स हेल्थ। सो
Mhm.
क्या बोलते हैं आप, शुरू करें?
Of course, I'm happy to answer all these questions. Of course, I'll try my best to answer them as completely and yet briefly as I can. And I hope whoever's asked the question will find the answers useful. So, chalo, let's start.
Periods. Here I said it. Periods. Because हमने इतने सारे टैबू अटैच कर दिए हैं और या हो अटैच कर दिया है टू दिस, जबकि periods is as common and common, I mean as normal as sneezing. कोई जो छींक रहा है तो हम ये तो नहीं कहते होश तूने छींक दिया,
Mm.
कैसे छींक दिया, and how are you talking about it? So it is as normal as that, and that is why we need to talk about something that is so normal. So here's the first question. आकांक्षा ने मेरे साथ में ये सवाल शेयर किया है। आकांक्षा सेज, मुझे लास्ट पीरियड्स में डीले हुआ था, तो अगर पीरियड्स डीले हो जाएं तो क्या इससे कोई सीरियस प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं होती है? सो डॉक्टर मुंजाल, ओवर टू यू।
So, Ruchi, one thing that women need to know is that सबके periods एक समान नहीं होते. Periods can vary in their frequency. किसी को 25 डेज का भी पीरियड नॉर्मल है, किसी के लिए 32-33 डेज का भी पीरियड नॉर्मल है. सो अगर थियोरेटिकली देखा जाए तो एनीवेयर बिटवीन 21 डेज टू 35 डेज इज अ नॉर्मल पीरियड इफ इट्स अकरिंग रेगुलर. व्हेन यू शुड स्टार्ट टू वरी, और एटलीस्ट कोई डॉक्टर से जाके मिलना चाहिए जब पीरियड डिले होते हैं बाय मोर देन अबाउट 7 or 8 days फ्रॉम योर रेगुलर साइकिल.
ओके।
एनी टाइम अबाउ इट इज बिटवीन 35 डेज, या कभी हर 15, 16, 17 डेज में आ रहा हो तब. सो यस, इफ द जिन्होंने क्वेश्चन पूछा है, अगर आपका पीरियड बहुत ही ज्यादा डिले हो रहा है, लाइक 2-2 महीने नहीं आ रहा है, 3-3 महीने नहीं आ रहा है, या एवरी 1.5-1.5 2 महीने आ रहा है, देन इट्स बेटर कि आप जाके डॉक्टर से मिले. द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग आपको मन में रखना है कि कुछ कुछ मेजर नहीं निकलने वाला. डोंट गेट स्केयर्ड टू गो टू अ डॉक्टर. बहुत लोग बोलते हैं डॉक्टर के पास जाऊंगी, कुछ निकलेगा, कुछ स्टार्ट हो जाएगा, उसकी आदत लग जाएगी, देन माय बॉडी विल नॉट बी द सेम. नो, दैट्स नॉट द पॉइंट. The point is that this may be just a sign of something minor. It may be the sign of some little bit of hormonal imbalance, थोड़ा बहुत polycystic ovaries का शुरुआत, etc., and which can be tackled very easily. So it's always better to go to a gynecologist and say कि ऐसा ऐसा problem है. Do I need to worry? What can I do? मैं खुद क्या कर सकती हूँ? Should I, take better care of myself? Should I, change something in my exercise regimen, or should I get some exercise if suppose your job doesn't allow you, your lifestyle doesn't allow you to, uh, take time off for your self-care, etc. So it's more of a holistic management. जहाँ आप जाके बोलो कि ऐसा ऐसा हो रहा है. Is it normal? In most cases, अगर आप जाके पूछो तो most of the times the answer will be it is normal. Don't worry. So क्या होता है कि then मन में जो एक pricking या एक needle सी बैठ जाती है कि what that will go away, and you outsource your worry to a professional.
So the next question is very relatable. and I had to take this. ये है अनन्या का question and she's from Borivali and she kept sending us this question. अनन्या कहते हैं कि मुझे पीरियड्स में मूड स्विंग्स बहुत होते हैं। हम सबको बहुत होते हैं। तो आपसे हम ये जानना चाहेंगे कि पीरियड्स के दौरान जो मूड स्विंग्स होते हैं इन्हें कंट्रोल कैसे किया जाए?
The first thing which helps is talking about it. First, acknowledging that I am not happy with who I am around that time. Once that first step is taken and that acknowledgement comes that I just want to be more in control of myself, then there are a million avenues. The first thing will be a little bit of counseling from your doctor to kind of teach you a few exercises, how not to kind of engage in a confrontation, how to step back, how to take a little bit of a walk. Beyond that, there are certain nutritional supplements that you get, certain vitamins that we start. Uh, what that does is it affects it on a very minor level. It just improves your tolerance to the fluctuating hormones during that time. जो आप otherwise, it's like how you react to sugar crash. The same way your brain reacts equally to how your hormones will crash around the times of your period. So it helps you be more tolerant, but it has to be taken about 3, 6 months, etc. Another thing is very commonly we see girls saying that it's a time of my period. I indulge in a lot of my cravings. You know, uh, I'll have a brownie, I'll have a hot chocolate, I'll just have anything that comforts me. That's the time I'll eat a lot of cake, I'll eat chocolate, I'll eat coffee, I'll drink coffee, I'll have hot chocolate. But studies have shown that high sugar foods and brown foods such as coffee, chocolate, etc., will actually worsen your premenstrual symptoms. So, contrary to what society has taught us, I tell my patients at that time be most careful.
Oh.
Try to eat as lean and as healthy as you can. Try not to binge on sugar because even it's the sugar dips which will also make you cranky, and that will be a trigger for your PMS. At the same time, try to avoid uh, a lot of hot chocolate or eating brownies or having a lot of coffee. Around that time, be a little bit more careful. So it's the antithesis of what we have even learned, even as doctors, even as kids, even as boys, as kids, that okay, that's the time where you pamper your girlfriend or your wife with a brownie or a cake, or you take her out for hot chocolate. No, don't take her out for hot chocolate. Yeah. Don't take her out for a hot chocolate. Take her out for something. Take her out for a walk, or maybe just be around her and try not to trigger her. But beyond that, these are the little few tricks that can help. And the other thing is you have to understand that there is no magic bullet. There's absolutely no magic bullet. There's nothing that I can give you that will make it disappear unless it's so severe that there are thoughts of self-harm, there are thoughts of, doing something really, really harmful to yourself. That's when proper other antidepressants, etc., come in. But I don't think that the listener asked this question. I think she was just talking about how can she be a little less moody and little more comfortable with herself during this time. And these are small tips and tricks that you can use. So talk to your doctor about certain nutritional supplements which may help.
हमारे से लिसनर हैं जो कि अनोनिमस ही रहना चाहती हैं, बट अ क्वेश्चन दैट आई थिंक बहुत लोगों के दिमाग में होता है एंड अ वेरी वैलिड क्वेश्चन इज व्हेन यू आर मेंस्ट्रुएटिंग उस समय पर फिजिकल इंटिमेसी कितना सेफ होता है और क्या उस समय टू मेंटेन अ फिजिकल रिलेशनशिप विद योर पार्टनर कैन दैट मेक यू प्रेग्नेंट? सो प्लीज टेल अस.
Okay. So मैं क्वेश्चन का दूसरा पार्ट पहले आंसर करता हूँ. So when you're on your proper period and your periods are regular, etc., and if you have intercourse at that time, you cannot get pregnant. It is biologically impossible. Unless, I mean, it's very rare to say impossible in medical terms because strange things can happen, but no, it's not possible. That's number one. But for all the young listeners who are listening, please don't take that as an excuse to have unprotected sex with your partner during your period. Thinking, okay, this is the one time we can have intercourse without any protection and etc. etc. No. It only protects against pregnancy, not against STI, etc. etc. So young couples should be aware of all the other risks that come along with unprotected intercourse. When it comes to having intercourse or being physically intimate during your periods, it is couple dependent. It is couple dependent. We have some girls who feel very, very interested in having intercourse at that time. The reason for that is there is a lot of congestion in that area. It stimulates arousal, etc. And if they are comfortable with it, if their partner is comfortable with it, sure. there is a slight increased risk of a little bit of more pain, etc., etc. And there's this now defunct theory कि उससे थोड़ा बहुत blood may get pushed in and some endometriosis may occur, but that has been disproved now. So medically, it is safe to have it, but we have seen couples who just don't engage in it, and we have seen couples who enjoy it. So I would leave it to a more personal choice. There is no yes or no answer to that.
सुधा ने एक ऐसा सवाल पूछा है which is something that thankfully in metro cities is reducing, which is the superstition जो कि attached होता है menstrual cycles and menstruating women से. But still, you know, we have so many cities and even in metro cities at a lot of houses where, you know, things like these are followed. So सुधा ने पूछा है कि हमारे यहाँ पर periods जब होते हैं किसी को तो उसके दौरान किचन में नहीं जाते हैं, कुकिंग नहीं करते हैं, ये सब कुछ रिलीजियस किसी चीज में यू नो एंटर करना गलत माना जाता है. तो पूछने की कोशिश कर रही हैं कि ऑफ कोर्स यू नो नाउ एवरीबॉडी डज अंडरस्टैंड टू सर्टेन एक्सटेंट दैट दिस कैन बी अ सुपरस्टिशन, बट इज देयर स्लाइट बिट ऑफ साइंस आल्सो देयर इन दिस और देयर इज नन?
There is no science to forbidding women from entering a temple during their period, and there is certainly no science in women entering the kitchen, etc., etc., and doing ghar ka whatever apparently pious work during their period. But there is some amount of historical reasoning for this. Most women, about say a century or more ago, maybe a couple of centuries ago, their only job description in life was to serve the family.
Hmm.
Serve the husband, serve the kids, serve the in-laws, go to the farm, kheti karo, ghar kaam karo. That was their only life.
Hmm.
There is a theory postulated that all these restrictions on women, that you cannot enter the kitchen during your period, came out of the fact to give women rest.
Hmm.
It was done by the elders of the family who were also women, saying, okay, it's a painful time, it's a heavy bleed, so it's better you don't enter the kitchen. And somehow it has turned into this entire superstition. Now, there is no way to prove this. There's no way to prove this, but that's the origin story of it, which has been just pulled through and just made into something about impurity and unclean and everything. No amount of television commercials, print media, social media, anything is going to change this mindset in a heartbeat. It's not going to happen. What changes? These kind of changes take they're generational changes.
Hmm.
So in our family, I have a daughter and a son. We have never not used the word period in front of anybody. We have never. So even in front of my son, who's younger, he said, "Myra, do you have a period?" Okay, okay, sorry, son, I'll get it myself. Like, or I'll do this. Like, okay, you're fine. Okay, are you? Is it hurting? Yeah, okay. So वो stigma ही नहीं रहा है.
Wow.
And it takes a stronger member of the family, usually a male member, in which in my family, it's my dad, me, my brother, we are all very progressive. We don't stop anybody. Like if it's Diwali time, if some puja is, we don't even bother asking anything. You can sit, no problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've had some relatives say, कि nahi, no, that she can't enter. I have brainwashed my daughter. I have literally brainwashed my daughter that these rules are not created by a spiritual force or the universe or the Lord Almighty. These are created by humans. So
Hmm.
you do not have to respect laws created like this to keep you down. So she's very, very with that. She's like, no, I will enter when I want, what I want. It's nobody's business if I'm not period or not.
आगे बढ़ते हैं. गीता मौर्य ने पूछा है कि पीरियड्स में उन्हें इन्फेक्शन बार बार हो जाता है, सो ये पीरियड्स के दौरान इन्फेक्शन ना हो, इसे कैसे अवॉइड किया जा सकता है?
What does she mean by infection? Is it a UTI? आपको यूरिन इन्फेक्शन बार बार हो रहा है, और यू फील कि आपकी इम्यूनिटी लो हो रही है, एंड दैट्स आपको कॉफ, कोल्ड, यू आर जस्ट फीलिंग वीक, थोड़ा फीवरिश लग रहा है, इज इट दैट टाइप ऑफ इन्फेक्शन? सो आई विल आंसर इट फॉर बोथ वेज. सपोज यू आर फीलिंग दैट योर इम्यूनिटी इज लो, यू आर फीलिंग अ लिटिल वीक, कोई खांसा आपके बाजू में, or somebody sneezed next to you in office or at on your commute to work and all, you immediately caught the infection. So there is a little bit of risk that yes, when you are a little down physically, you are more prone to getting uh, random infections and bugs, and especially if you're in a crowded environment and you are exposed to kids. Suppose you have children who have come back from playgroup, वो तो रोज नए नए वायरस लेके आते हैं. So what I would say is that you need to build up your general health otherwise. Again, eat healthy, exercise, get some sunshine if you can. थोड़ा बहुत when you can walk, don't take a rickshaw. When you can, climb stairs, don't take an elevator. When you can eat vegetables and all that, don't opt for the misal pav, etc., etc., etc. Try to kind of get your as much color on your plate as you can. A lot of fruits, a lot of veggies, and like I said, it doesn't have to be expensive fruits. It doesn't have to be expensive vegetables. It can just be normal, hearty Indian meals. Number two, if you are talking about UTIs, if you're talking about urine infections, अगर आपको लग रहा है कि because of my period I wear a pad and because of the I try to clean everything all the time and I always end up getting burning in my urine or itching right after, etc., etc. Then number one, first see a doctor. He will explain to you many things. The first thing that women generally do when they get a UTI is to blame themselves. पहली चीज कि मेरा ही गलती होगा. Like I have used the loo at the airport, I have used the loo at a movie theater, I have used the loo at the office, and that's why I've got the UTI, and now I'm going to clean. But हाथ धो के पीछे पड़ जाता है बहुत जी. So what generally tends to happen is that they start to become over hygienic.
Yeah.
What people have to understand that our private parts are covered with certain protective oils and protective bacteria. When you start using commercially available products for personal hygiene, I'll not name the products, but there are so many marketed to you. Throw them all in the trash. Our private parts are self-cleaning organs. When you try to wash them repeatedly, you are removing the protective coatings on it, you're removing the protective bacteria on it, and you're allowing fungus, etc., to grow. And when you're constantly cleaning by spraying, with a bidet or however you are cleaning it, you are exposing more germs to go towards your urinary tract. Going to pee, when you can wipe it, try to clean as little as possible.
Absolutely. And that is why it is Ask Me Anything with Dr. Munjal from Namaha Healthcare. And we are going to keep asking you such questions. So हमारे सवालों के लिए आप तैयार रहिएगा. But thank you so much for your time and thank you for this beautiful session.
Thank you so much, Ruchi, for having me. And I hope this was useful for everybody listening.
It
I'll
was.
see you guys soon.
Thank you so much. You guys stay tuned to Radio Nasha. फिर वही दीवान की.
Radio Nasha.